Cancer. Cancer, we're going to do a general read for you today. We're going to look at your current energy, desires, outcome, what's working for you, and what you need to be aware of. Keep in mind, at the end of the reading, I will pull 3 extra cards just to make sure that we have not missed anything that needs to be brought forward. Somebody's currently in the 3 of Pentacles energy, putting forward that work and starting to gain the rewards for that work. The Knight of Cups is what shows in your desires. So even though you're working on everything, you have this desire for something a little more to show up romantically. But the outcome is the 5 of Swords. So there could be some hidden agenda, something. For the 5 of Swords to me is like something's not quite over. We have the Knight of Swords that shows up for you. Now this Knight of Swords is somebody taking somebody's taking action. They're using their head. They're being very, very quick and chaotic around what they're doing. The Page of Pentacles shows up and what you need to be aware of. Page of Pentacles is about learning. This could also be about somebody that is bringing in some good financial news for you. The King of Swords, the Hanging Man, and the 2 of Swords shows up to clarify the 3 of Pentacles. Even though you're working hard on what you're doing and trying to be clear about where you want to go and how you want to do things, for some of you it may need that you need a little more sort of schooling in order to make a decision. We have the Hanging Man and the 2 of Swords. It's like I need a little more knowledge in order to gain the wisdom that I need in order to make a decision that's been plaguing me. The Knight of Cups shows up. This is your desires, and even though you're wanting some type of relationship or romance to come in, it seems like it's been a bit of a long slog for you. It seems like everything you do, it's just not happening, despite putting yourself out there and doing the things that you're doing. So the 5 of Swords shows up in the outcome. King of Wands, 6 of Wands, and the Sun. This is so King of Wands and Queen of Wands have shown up. It's almost like you're not done looking. Like you haven't maybe quite met this person, or maybe you haven't quite given this person the chance that they need to. Maybe you're involved with somebody and you really haven't seen sort of the true identity that they are, and underneath that they are somebody that is actually quite successful in what they do. This is almost feels like, you know what, it's like you got to do your homework. And this is kind of funny because this could even bring us back to the 3 of Pentacles, is because we have the King of Swords here, the Hangman, 2 of Swords, and this talks about making a choice and not having enough information in order to make that choice. As we go up into the romance and then the outcome, yeah, you can see maybe you don't have enough information about this person to make this choice. Let's clarify the Knight of Swords, the High Priestess, the 10 of Swords, and the 4 of Wands. There's a lot that's unknown, even though it's just kind of, maybe for some of you, this was a lot of disappointment. Things had just kind of like failed or fallen apart with respect to this. But it seems like, I almost want to say, like you've kind of cut the head off this and just left it because you don't really know enough. But this could actually have some sustainability in here. This brings us to the Page of Pentacles. Queen of Swords shows up. Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords. So as you're learning and being very definitive in what you want, you have the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. We also have the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands that shows up. The 3 of Cups. Did the 3 of Cups show up in this one? Sorry, it was the other read. But this is that, like, we have the other core card. So as you learn to be clear about what you want and using your head and taking action towards it, there's a whole new life here ready for you if this is what you want. Uh, the High Priestess is your card. It doesn't really change this at all. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. But as you go through this, there is learning that needs to sort of take place. And you can figure that, as you sort of starting and moving forward with this, that you see a future with this person. Even though that there may be some bumps in the road. I want to pull 3 more cards around this for you. We've had 3 out of the 4 aces show up for you, which is quite interesting. So the 4 of Swords, 4 of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles. When you're able to sort of relax in how you're thinking about all of this stuff, it's almost like, I want to say, beware of becoming sort of too complacent. Because you might miss the opportunity to really start something new with somebody that does have some longevity to it, that does have some success. This is also could be for some of you making a decision. You may not even want to make a decision about this because you're kind of just lying on your back about it and you really don't want to do anything. But be careful of that. Cancer, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully this makes some sense to you. For those that are new to my channel or those that haven't subscribed, I would invite you to do so. For those that have returned, thank you for coming back. I do appreciate your support and being here. We'll talk to you next week. Stay safe.